Oh, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening to us. We're just glad you're here. Welcome back to a new episode of the DM show. This is going to be a fun episode. We actually have one of my friends on here with us again. He is going to be doing an update episode for us. He is the one that we wanted. If you listen to our panel, and then the follow up to the panel, we actually had expressed that we wanted Donald to come on. And that was when we had I want to say Milena had the light bulb idea as we were talking about Donald, you coming back on. Milena goes, we need to ask him back on. We need to ask him to do a follow up episode, just him, and it'll be fine. So here we are. This is what we're here for. So before we jump into questions, Donald, give us a life update because I'm just busting at the seams about this. So go for it. Go. Life update. Go.
Life's been good. I can't complain too much. This summer, May 31st, I'll be getting married. So that would be pretty awesome.
That's exciting. Congrats. Yeah. That's way awesome. Yay.
Yes, I'm excited. I didn't expect it to be so soon, but we agreed to it, so it's good. I enjoy it. I'm ready for it.
It's awesome. I love it.
Well,
she does a lot. Yeah, she does a lot with Luke, and Luke loves her, and I love her. So, hey, why not? Why not do it sooner than later?
That's amazing.
Yeah. I mean, if you you know what's going to happen, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah,
right.
Just do it.
Yeah,
just do it.
Just do it.
Now, are y'all going to do like a big wedding? I'm going to ask all the details now because now I'm like, I can ask him and it's fine. I think big wedding, small wedding.
It'd be kind of small. We wouldn't want to do a big wedding. We're going to do a destination wedding in Tampa. So
smart.
On the beach? On the beach?
Yes. I think if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be on the beach, and I want to go to Bahamas, but she had the final vote, so she beat me on that.
I mean, all right. So no shoes because it's on a beach. I feel like you can't wear shoes.
I'm assuming we're wearing shoes. I don't know. She told me to buy shoes, so I'm assuming that's part of it. I did buy a suit, so I'll let her plan everything out. I'm just
smart man.
Smart man. Whatever.
I'm just paying.
He's like, I'm just writing the checks at this point. That's where we're
showing
at.
Up. I love it.
I think that's smart. I honestly think that's very smart. I've seen pictures.
Yeah, I'm just showing up.
Just show up and be yes dear, and like that's perfect. But it's funny because I've seen pictures on Facebook of all of them together, and they are just. I mean, if everyone says like, "Oh, Facebook's the highlight reel," but they're so stinking cute together.
How have I not seen this?
Milena, you're friends with a lot of people on social media.
Well, I honestly don't get on Facebook, but now I gotta get on and stalk him.
Now you have got to get on Facebook and stalk, because the thing is, and this is not to be weird, Donald, but like when I first saw the like pictures of them dating like together and they were taking pictures together, and I was like, that's his wife. But I think y'all were like maybe a month or two in. You're like a month or two in, maybe 3. And I was like, that's his wife. Like it just y'all looked so like organic, like so natural, so just that's your family. Like it just
right.
And I love it. I think it's so fantastic.
If you listen to her, she won't think organic. She thinks that she could beat me sometimes. She wants to just how I am personality wise. So
well, I think that's fantastic. I am so over the moon happy for you.
No, that's
so over the moon happy.
Thank you. Yeah. Other than that, Luke's doing good. He's in, I guess they call it preschool, and then next year he'll go to an elementary school for the pre-K program. So he's been doing really well.
And then everything's been going swimmingly with him. And then like I know you and Sarah, like, and all y'all have like this really cool relationship.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, there's no other way to describe it but family. And that's really cool to be able to see. It's just cool. See all that together.
I told her the day that we had our mediation, I told them when I first got to meet them that, no matter what, they were still a family, whether they liked it or not. And so far, still holding on strong. So I talk to them every once in a while. watch them and Dalton, their son, play and do things on Facebook, and we'll exchange messages and videos and pictures and things like that on Messenger with each other. So I know we have. I think sometime maybe during the fall or summer we plan on going back up to my uncle's house and meeting up with them again. So
Cool.
every time I go to Texas, we try to go and see them.
No, I love that. And I was just going to plug in, if this is the first episode you're listening to, you need to go find Donald's original episode and listen to everything. And then you'll know kind of what he's talking about with like Sarah and everything. Cause it's her insane. Episode. Yeah. And Sarah's got an episode too. So yeah.
Right.
So good.
Yeah.
Can you hear Delancey? Delancey, I can't hear you.
I was fixing. I don't hear her.
Yeah, Delancey, we can't hear you. We can't hear you. It's not just, I was like, is it just me?
Yeah,
but Donald can't hear you either.
No, I was fixing. I couldn't hear her. I saw her lips moving. I just couldn't hear her.
Oh. Okay, but we can hear you now.
But you can hear me now? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm kind of glad it did, because those headphones, not the bee's knees right now. So, yeah, that was super fun. I'm so glad that happened. Okay, so what I was trying to say before,
it died.
This guy decided to die on me. Do you want to go ahead and jump into the questions?
Oh, yeah. So we are going to, did you mention that already, that we're going to ask him the same questions? Did you mention that when you introed? I know you mentioned it before we jumped on. Okay. Before we jumped on, I just want to make sure. Yeah. Okay. You did. I don't know what I'm thinking. Everything's kind of run together. Okay. So I will start out with questions, and then Delancey will go, and we're going to do it just like the panel, like Delancey said, and we'll just have him answer his real honest feelings with it. So the very first question for you, sir, is how do you feel about adoption?
I think adoption is great. Matter of fact, Julie and I have been talking about it, and she wants to adopt a kid here soon. Oh, I say soon, maybe within the next year or so. Somebody for Luke to play with, because he's the only one here, and he's a handful. So we figure we can adopt another kid, somebody close to his age. That way we could, at least he has somebody to play with. We have friends of hers and myself next door that used to live in California with their best friends. They grew up together, and they got 4 kids that he goes and plays with, but they're not there all the time. They got sports, and he's still kind of too young for sports right now. So, but no, I think it's a great idea. So
I think that's option.
Especially with the experience with going through what I did with the Sarah and Don, and how they were, willing to take Luke in and love him for the 4 months that he was with them.
Yeah.
And so there's a kid out there that needs it. So
I love that, because there are for sure kids out there that need that. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so Donald, what do you think is the hardest thing about adoption?
Yeah, well, that's a tough one for me, because I haven't been down that road. But I would imagine, you at first having, I guess what is it, 6 months to the process to go through before you can legally adopt a kid out. So I would imagine those 6 months would be pretty hard and tough for someone if the biological family members come back and try to take that child back, or whatever it may be, or some that are in foster care and trying to get adopted out, and you've been with them for so long, and it kind of gets ripped away from you, so you have that bond with somebody. So yeah, I would say it'd be pretty rough especially if you have a good bond with that child, and
right,
I could imagine. So
okay, awesome. Okay, next one. What is, on the flip, the best thing about adoption?
The best thing about the adoption would be, a child getting love, having a family, being able to be with that family and know love, and just have just for them to have a family. have to, be flopped around and through a foster care or anything like that.
Right.
I guess the 6 months is technically the foster care part of it, but at least they know they have somebody there that wants them. And, granted, it's not a biological family member, but at least it's someone that they know that's going to be there no matter what. And that would definitely be the best side for any kid going through adoption. And not to mention, there's people out there that just can't have kids. So this is a great opportunity for them to be able to have that opportunity without, experience it themselves.
Yeah.
But, it's the next best thing.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
No, this next question is going to be a little different because it could potentially be a two-parter, because it actually turned into a two-parter on the panel. Because Greg actually, because I have the definition. I'll have to look it back up again, but I have the definition of it because this phrase is just so bizarre. But what are your thoughts on adoption fog?
Do you even know what it is?
Okay, yeah, not.
No, I was like saying that's new to me.
Okay, so I'll read you because it's funny because Greg actually asked me to read the definition and he was like, I'm interested to know what that actually is. So please read that.
Right.
Or he said something similar to that. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he knows what I mean. Let's see. In terms of adoption, being in the fog represents denial of the loss inherent to being adopted. Being in this fog is haunting too. Adoption loss is stored in our implicit memories and bodies. In a way, we are haunted by it until it lifts and we allow the loss to become visible. Okay. It essentially is basically people saying that they're saying that if you're in the adoption fog, if you see the blessings of adoption, if you see the happiness in adoption, if you see the positivity behind adoption, if they say anything different than it's only trauma, it's only negative, it's only abandonment, it's only like all these negative things, if you don't say all of that, you're in a fog. And when you start saying that, then you're out of the fog. We did a whole episode on it because we were like, this is disgusting. So what are your thoughts?
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's it's hard. I guess it's hard for me to have a thought on it since I'm on the other side of it. Since I had to go after my son, I didn't have to adopt him, but I would imagine it'd be rough. That's kind of reasons why, him being young, I'm still sure he remembers who they are, because every time we meet him, he's kind of drawn to them. He's not shy. He's very open, and he's kind of an open kid now somewhat, but at first it usually takes him a second to warm up. But with them, he warmed up with them fast. I mean, it wasn't or the first time we met him afterwards, he act like it was family. So that's one of the reasons why I like to keep, having them around. So see him, and it's not nothing out of the ordinary to him. So, and I'm sure, like I said, he's probably still remembers it somewhere in the back of his mind. He's still young to process it, and I know eventually we'll have to talk to him about it and kind of let him know what happened, how things happen, who they are. But we hadn't, so far he hadn't asked questions. So, but fog wise, yeah, I would imagine like in certain cases it would be tough for people. Me, I don't know, I'm like genetic. I kind of drown things out, but for others, I would imagine, this is their opportunity to have a kid that, you definitely be some pros and cons to some people. If something bad happened, I mean, if, like I said, if they got ripped away out of the blue, had no real warning because the family member came back, I would imagine that would be devastating for someone. I mean, same thing with, her and her family, I would imagine when, it was just one day, their life was turned upside down after one day. So I imagine they, for the longest, they were definitely upset. And, amazingly enough, they were shortly afterwards was able to adopt another kid, and that's the one they have now. So
yeah.
I don't know. Fog wise, I mean, I hadn't personally been in that experience with it, so it's kind of tough for me to have a comment on it, I guess.
I gotcha.
Yeah. One thing that I want to say that I like that I kind of took away from that is how this is kind of like how me and Delancey always talk about. This is totally going off topic. Okay. Well, like it's still with adoption, but like how you were talking about that bond that he still has with them. And it's like, it blows my mind that people are like, oh, you can't like love but your own blood, and you can't like this with adoption. And right there, that like proves it. Like they took care of him for 4 months, and he still, like you said, he still remembers that. Yeah. It probably won't come until he's older that he'll know, kind of remember things here and there.
Right.
But to have that bond and to have that love, it's like y'all can just sit down because now he's back, with you, but he still knows who they are. And I think it's even more amazing that you have kept them in his life. Like, I love that you said that right off the bat. You're like, they're stuck with me whether they want to be or not. Like, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's my favorite part. It's we're family whether you like it or not. We're bonded together.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And I guess at the time that when I said it, like I said, we were in mediation. That was probably not the proper time, but it actually worked out pretty well. Even though, like I said, that at that time frame when we spoke about it, you could tell that they were already hurt, didn't know what they were really going to do, and like a legal aspect. And then they just said, I guess speaking with their lawyer or whatever, they had no other choice but to give him back. But I felt bad. I felt terrible over the situation. So that was one of the main reasons why I was like, look, you've already been part of his life. I can't take you out now. Because when he gets older, he may ask that question, like, who are these people that I've seen before? And they're around.
Yeah.
And that's a whole nother topic that I have to explain to him. And I think I got enough to explain to him in the long run, but at least now I can say that, this is who they are. They love you enough to stay around and, be a part of your life. So
right. Which is all just so amazing and so cool. I just love it all. Okay, we're ready for the next question. I don't know if you're really going to know anything about this unless like but maybe. What are your thoughts on the anti-adoption industry? Have you seen anything floating around social media where people are promoting it? It's very heavy on TikTok. I know that because I don't see it as much on Instagram or Facebook, but it's very heavy on TikTok.
Oh, I haven't seen that. I'm not on TikTok. I do have Instagram and Facebook, and I get on it every once in a while. I don't really get on it a lot, but TikTok, I don't have that. I don't know. I'm not much on the social media part. I mean, I get on there, but I don't post too much or get into other things. So no, I definitely haven't heard about it.
Okay, so like, what are your thoughts on people saying adoption is the worst thing? Nobody should ever be adopted. Like, no good can come from it. Like, only blood should be with blood. Like, your parents are white and you're black and that won't work out. Or what are your thoughts on like all these things that people have so much hate on adoption? Those kinds of things.
Yeah, I don't. Right. I don't know why somebody would hate on that. I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a child that needs love and care, no matter color, special needs or not. I mean, it's a kid. At the end of the day, I mean, people grow up with their parents and get that love, and that's all these kids want, is the opportunity to have that same feeling that someone else has that's had their mom and dads the whole time. Right. So yeah, somebody that says that is pretty much an idiot. I mean, I guess I'm just too kind of hard of a person. Kids would be my weakness, because they got to start somewhere, so they got to have I guess like morals and discipline while they're younger. If not, then usually they'll become druggies or, prison, something like that, do something crazy because they didn't have that opportunity as they grow up. So I think adoption is great. I think more people should probably look into it. Julie opened my eyes up to it a little bit more. So that's one of our plans to do. So I'm definitely on board. Like I told her, it don't matter, black, white, Asian. It's a kid that needs love at the end of the day, and that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah, very true.
Agreed. I like that answer.
Do you have anything to expand on that, Delancey?
With the anti-adoption industry?
Yeah, because you see it a lot more than I do.
It sucks. Well, I mean, it's just one of those things where like it goes back to, like Donald's saying at the end of the day, and I'm pretty sure I've said this. If I haven't said it, I've thought it a lot, that even criminals hold kids sacred. Even criminals hold them sacred. Like you're talking about like murderers, serial killers respect children, and they feel that you should always protect children.
Right.
So for me, that should tell you, just like Donald said, it's a kid that needs love. But it's like, as far as expanding on it, the stuff that I see on TikTok is they will get on and they will have like what we're doing, but they'll do it in lives and they won't show their faces and they hide behind screen names. And that's what they've started doing most recently is they will it'll be just like, if I turned my video off, it'll just show this little icon. It'll basically be like that. And then they'll go on this tangent about how they're talking about how they will go, I'm an adoptee, adoption's awful, leave them with the biologicals, don't let them be adopted unless they can consent. It's basically 18 to 24-year-olds that are getting on this app and spreading this information, and it's saying, but they're not spreading information, they're just saying buzzwords to get people
right.
And I was about to say, I'm sure you'll agree with me that it's just not like we're all old enough to know that doesn't really work. It'll work in
right. And you said 18 to 24 right there. That's just the dumb age anyway, because you're doing like crazy stuff and you're trying to be rebellious, and and who's to say they didn't have a rough,
right.
adopted family, but still, at least at the end of the day, they might have been strict, but at least you survived.
Mm-hmm.
Whether you're better off with your adopted or your biological family or not, who knows? I mean, you're old at 18 and 24, you're old enough to go and find them yourself, or at least try to. Right. So that's, ask your adopted family if they have any information and try to get you on the right place. So being adoptees or whatever is dumb. I mean, apparently at that time, their family members could not handle that child moment due to whatever, maybe drugs or legal stuff or jail time, whatever it may be. I'll think those are all different. Mine, I don't know what mine would be considered, somewhere in a different category, but still, that to me is dumb that you would sit there and say that about a family that was willing to take you in. And they didn't have to. They could have just said, no, I'll let you just stay in the foster system. You can go to prison, whatever you want to do. But instead, they took that opportunity that was gave to them and tried to do something with it. And to me, that person should be thankful, or those people should be thankful for that opportunity, because they might be a few people that are against it, but I'm pretty sure others are not against it. I have friends now that they started doing the fostering, and then they wound up adopting a few kids out of it, and they love it. They still do the foster to adopt, and I don't know if I could do as many kids as they got going on, but hey, they got the love to give it, so hey, more power to them.
Exactly. Okay, sorry, Delancey, I kind of switched it there. You got the last part.
Oh, you're fine. like, oh, that's when he asked me, like, you have anything to expand on? I was like, I mean, like, I could go for hours on tangents on that. Like,
right. Yeah.
We'll go for hours talking about it because, not saying that people in that age range aren't allowed to have an opinion, but your frontal cortex is still developing.
Yeah.
Do some research, educate, learn, develop. Don't just take your feeling and say it's fact, because facts don't care about your feelings. I'm sorry.
Right.
Um,
Exactly. And at that point, you're starting to become an adult. So I guess, it's weird to you, but at the same time, but everybody's got their own opinion, but that's kind of one of those opinions that I would imagine not a lot of people have. Just, I could be wrong.
If they do, I said it before. I'll say it again. Raquel said it best. If they do share that opinion, it's a mob mentality. They just want clicks and views and likes and
right,
all this other stuff to be popular.
Exactly. Whatever can get them to right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I mean,
hopefully it's not working out for them.
Yeah. Right. Well, I mean, it's the amount of stock that people put into being verified on social media now, or the amount of followers they have. Like, I had a grown adult tell me, "Hey, I just got verified," and I'm like, I mean, that's cool.
Okay.
I mean, congratulations. What are you doing with it? Like, what are you doing? Like, what are you?
Seriously.
What are you doing to make the world a better place, to put your stamp on it? I don't know. I'm not going to knock him because, like, he is proud of it. He did work hard for it. So, like, that's good for him. I just, like, I guess I'm of a different mindset. I don't understand. Like, but I think we all come from that age where we want to serve, like, actual people.
Right. Yeah. I was going to say, that's why I don't get on social media too much. Everything's went to social media so much that it just kind of makes it a little bit ridiculous to get on, like, people trying to, what do you call them? I guess TikTok stars and things like that. They're trying to become that. And who's to say some of these people that are against, whatever they are, I don't know, trying to get paid just to do nothing, sit at home. And that sounds like maybe what this is doing.
Yeah. They want to get paid to do nothing but make videos.
Well,
and I would almost put money on the fact that some of them that are in this against adoption stuff probably haven't been adopted. They still have family and was born with their biological family, just trying to see if they can make money off of it. That's all that is.
So
plus, they don't show their face. Why would you want to show your face? If you believe in something, show your face.
Oh, amen to that. Seriously.
And don't silence the people who disagree with you and who have facts to back up the disagreement. Right. You're 100% correct, because it's kind of like that last scene in 8 Mile where Eminem calls out Anthony Mackie and was like, "You went to private school, like, you're not a thug, your name's Clarence, your parents are still married, you were, like, raised in, like, a 5-bedroom house." And it's just, but he had on that persona of, I'm a tough guy. Right. I almost feel like Donald is probably hitting the nail perfectly on the head. Not saying this is the case for everybody, or somebody wants a comment section. Not saying that's everybody, but I guarantee that's the case for at least a few.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sure. You're probably dead on about that. Okay, so our final question is actually a repeat question that we've asked you before, but any advice that you would give to someone that is either within the adoption community or going through the adoption process or anything with it?
I mean, the main thing is don't be frustrated with it. I mean, obviously it's a long process. I've spoke with Sarah and them about it, and they've told me, how many different times they've had opportunities for other kids, and it just, something happened. Either the biological family decided, hey, I want to keep this child, and you might have several that seem good and just wind up falling through, but just stick with it. I mean, in the end, it'll be worth it. I mean, like I said, I kind of base it off of their experience, and like I said, here soon we'll be able to experience the same thing too. But Yeah, the main thing is, just if you get that opportunity and you're able to get a child, make sure they know the love that you have for them, and don't make them like their stepchild or not part of the family or things like that. Just make sure that they know that you love them, and that, man, they just make sure they know that you love them. And just, if you want to, just adopt. I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. Going back to that question before, some people might not think it's a good idea, but they're idiots. I don't see why you would not want to adopt a child that needs it. It's crazy to me, but there are some people out there that are against things that I've never understood. So to me, I think that's a great thing that, somebody wants to bring a child that's not a part of their blood family into the family, to make them feel like they're a part of it, based off of whether their biological family didn't want them for whatever reason, point in case. And for Luke's situation.
Yeah.
And it's, I would imagine it'll be tough later on if with adopted kids, when they get older, they get rebellious, but just stick with it. Don't discourage from the teens.
The teens.
The teens. I mean, I know I was rebellious when I was a teenager too, so
Yeah.
I get it. That's why I say
that same. If my mom actually made that comment not too long ago, 4 kids, 2 biological, 2 adopted, 1 biological, 1 adopted, we both drove her nuts equally.
Oh yeah.
different ways, but equally drove her crazy. And she'll say that, like, and that, just like you said, teen years, they suck for you parents, or any parent that has a teenager. I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry, because I was one of them. I talked back a lot. So they'll apologize to you later. But yeah, you're right.
Oh no, I'm getting prepared, because I got an 11-year-old now, so we're getting there. So I'm trying to prepare myself now to get ready for those preteens, because I know it's coming. He's starting to show little signs.
They start younger and younger.
It's true,
He's 11 and he's starting to act like he's 18. So I'm like, all right, man, you have to calm down just a little bit. If not, we're gonna have some trouble. I'm gonna have to be the parent at that time, and we're gonna have to strictly enforce some things.
Yeah, it's funny because my nephew, he's about to be 12, and apparently he got his, I mean, you're talking about like 11-year-old, he's 11, about to be 12. He got his iPad. I was talking to my sister today, and she said something about him getting his iPad taken away. And I was like, what? She's like, yeah, 2 weeks ago. And I was like, bro, she was like, I was like, for what? She goes, I don't even remember. And she was like, asked her husband, because like she just forgot, asked her husband. Her husband was like, because he was being a jerk.
Yeah.
He's being a jerk. And I was like, thanks for clarifying.
Let's just say there's always a reason if you take something from him.
Yeah, I know.
Knows that. Luke knows that.
Obviously, he was sassy or something. Like he like.
Right. Oh, no, that's like the 3-year-old up there. He acts like he's 18. He's way too much independent to be a 3-year-old right now. Like he wants to open the doors, wants to turn lights off. I'm like, man, you drive me nuts with some of this stuff. And he does. He drives me and Julie nuts with some of the stuff. Speaking of the devil, come here. Come here for a second.
Oh, is he down there?
Come here. Sit. Come up here with me.
Oh, hi, dude.
Oh, here. You want to put that towards your ear? Turn around.
Oh, that's right.
I'm like, who is that?
And he's like, I can hear you.
What's
say
up?
Hey to him.
Hi.
You gotta turn and look at the.
Hi.
There you go.
Hey. Oh my gosh,
He's so cute.
You were so.
You tell him how bad you are.
No.
Why?
Why? Because you're bad.
So
you don't have to lie to him. I already told him how bad you were.
I'm not.
You're not bad.
Are you going to bed? All right.
He's
Night
so
night.
cute.
Love you.
My heart.
Oh,
Oh my gosh, you have
You
whoever
get
to us has got to go watch the YouTube episode right now so you can see the cutest thing that we just saw happen. It
I know, so cute.
was so stinking cute.
I can't believe that.
Yeah, you wouldn't think that if you had to deal with him when he's tired. Nah, he's a good kid. He's, like I said, he's very
He's just a
much independent.
3-year-old.
He likes to do
Is
things on
that
his
how
own.
old he is? He's just a 3-year-old.
Yeah, he's 3 or 3.5 now. So
3.5,
he's
yeah.
getting there.
Yeah,
He's
fun.
got school, so he thinks he's just the best thing in the world right now. He drives me crazy sometimes, but he will talk. He nonstop talks, wants to do stuff, always wants to go outside. So
Is he?
definitely in the typical 3-year-old part.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So, yeah,
I love it.
yeah, he stays busy, and if he's not busy, he lets you know. He's in that I guess from like the 7 to 8 or 7 to 12 range, where he's like, Dad, if you don't answer him right then he gets upset. He's like, Dad, I'm like, I heard you. I'm right here. It's hard for me not to hear you. You're yelling.
I love it.
So,
Kids are fun.
nah, he's a good kid. We yeah, so far we hadn't had any experience with his biological mother. She kind of went and didn't have contact with us. Still don't have contact with us, but we wound up, and I think I told Delancey this, she wound up having another child probably about, I say 5 months ago, 6 months ago, maybe, something like that.
Like that.
Yeah.
What happened?
And I didn't know
happened?
about it. I wound up, and she still has that child as far as I know.
Yeah.
I'm blocked on Facebook, so I can't see things. So I have to get people
to look.
I have a question for you about her, and I wanted to ask you about this because I remember you mentioning that she heard your episode.
Yes.
Did she mention to you how she heard the episode? I mean, not saying like, I mean, obviously we're not keeping it secret. We don't keep anything secret.
Yeah. She didn't mention it, but I have a few ideas because we have some mutual friends that I'm friends with on Facebook, and y'all posted it, and I also posted it too. So I'm sure it's one of those mutual friends that sent it back to her, which I don't care. It don't bother me none.
Right.
The only main thing that she said, she's like, a lot of it, or 98% of it was true, and I forgot what that 1% she said wasn't true, and I was like, oh, okay. So I missed 1%. I was 1% off. Excuse me. Nobody can be perfect.
Yeah, I'm gonna check and on A. So
I say 99% is a lot, like of truth, like a lot.
Right? Yeah. Exactly.
And I have
and right now,
and I was gonna say, I'm feeling that detail probably wasn't even important to the story.
No,
it's true.
It really wasn't. It wasn't even relevant because I don't even remember what exactly it was. It's been so long ago. I couldn't, and I don't even keep text messages no more, so I don't even.
Right.
I couldn't even go back and tell you.
I'm sorry. What?
I don't keep them either. I do too. I can't do it. I take way too many photos, and I'd rather keep photos than text messages. I think that's why my messages wasn't sent to you today, Delancey. I had to go through and delete a whole bunch.
No, after a month, I just get rid of them. I just go clean out my messages.
That's how I am too. If there's anything important, I do screenshot it. Like if there's something I need as backup or something, I screenshot it and save it as a picture. But I can't do it. And it's something for my mental state, I have to get it out. Like I can't keep it.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, granted, I will say this. I see your face, but granted, when I first noticed that things were going strangely awry with her, I did keep all those text messages. So I did do that at that point, and it did benefit and help me in the long run. But I just knew, like, hey, it's time for me to save stuff at that point. Hopefully I won't have to go through that again where I need to save things. So
just knowing, because my boss deletes her text messages too, and I'm gonna tell y'all what I tell her. That gives me anxiety that y'all do that. So much anxiety. And I mean, I have text messages going all the way back probably by a decade, if not more.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
On now, like, advertisements. I don't keep that. That's weird. But like, I have every message that my mom and I, almost every message my mom and I have sent to each other. When I had Androids, I don't think those transferred over. But since I've had an iPhone, I have every text message with my mom, every text message with my dad, every text message with my best friend, every text message with my sisters. Like, I keep text messages, and I do that for the same reason that Donald said, because in case anyone, I don't care who you are, says, I didn't do that, you're just avoiding taking accountability. I can go, really? Screenshot, send, 100% not. And I can be like, haha. KO, I win. Thank you. Petty, yes, I know. Immature, probably, but
you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. You do what you gotta do. I just don't.
This gives me anxiety that y'all don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Julie does it to me every once in a while. She keeps her messages and she'll say, "You said this." I said, "No, I didn't." And then she'll screenshot it, send it to me. I'm like, "Oh, I can't deny it now."
I love her. I love your fiance. I love her.
I just look at her and say, "Are you sure that's my name?" I think you just took somebody else's name and put my name there. Something. I just doesn't seem like something I would say.
Edited it, right? See, and to me, that's a lot of work, Delancey. Like, good for you, but for me, I'm like, oof, that's a lot of work. I don't want to scroll back to June 4th of 2018 and be like, see, like, it's a lot of work.
You know what? They make it super easy. You go in, there's a search bar. You type in the keyword you're looking for, and it takes the message, and you can go, boop, boop.
See, I didn't know that either.
Yeah, girl, I didn't know nothing about it.
I come from the world of cell phones. That's what I did before I got into the cool world of college athletics. So I know all the fun tricks.
That's true.
I was about to say, Donald knows. Yep. It was like when Donald and I first met and became friends, that was when I worked at Verizon.
Oh, very cool.
Right, yep.
So you've seen like all the phones then. Dang, man.
All the phones and all the things. PSA, if y'all have no pictures on your phone, put them somewhere that you can see them, because people don't want to see work in the phone store.
No. I would say.
People would come in and like you would see those. Oh.
Dude.
Oh yeah, I would imagine. I mean, that's.
Oh my gosh.
They brought them in to get fixed. They should expect it to be seen.
Some of them would put it.
What?
Oh.
Wow.
People nasty.
Yeah.
I love how this took a turn to photos on your phone.
You don't delete your text messages like little weird people that you are. God.
I know. I'm an exclamation person too, and whenever I text Delancey, I always am like, no exclamations, because she doesn't like that either.
Okay, I like it, and things like that, but when you were just throwing a random exclamation, they're all willy-nilly, just for fun, I'm like, why are you yelling at me?
She takes it to heart.
Yeah. Why are you yelling at me?
Okay. Anyway, what were we talking about before?
Y'all were talking about deleting your text messages, which is absolutely crazy. That's just crazy.
Oh, it's because of okay, with her, and you needed evidence because of stuff started. That's where we got to it.
Oh yeah.
That's the reason why you should keep your messages safe side in case you need them for that reason or for other reasons.
Hopefully my friends and family wouldn't have to make me do that.
Yeah. Oh, goodness gracious.
That's pretty funny.
That took a real... Donald can't do these with us anymore because he goes on tangents with us.
He was full-fledged in there, yeah.
Hey, I'm with it, Hey, I go with the flow. That's
Donald was
funny.
That's what I do.
We're going.
Well, okay.
Hey, whatever direction you go, I can go.
I'm gonna ask you this because I mean, like, if they've listened to your episode, they've heard it. But like, we don't get really like birth dads on there, and I'm not gonna say anything about your story because it's very unique, and I want people to go back and listen. Yes, I'm gonna be like that. But like, what advice would you give for birth dads too? Like specifically,
Yeah.
like I know
Yes.
you've told us on your episode, but kind of reiterate what you said before.
Yeah, I mean, like with how my situation was, I knew just based off of how she was acting that there was something that wasn't right. She would never talk to me a whole lot, so the day that it came, that I got that information, I just instantly knew that she was lying. So, what I would say for biological dads, yes, it's kind of tough to find out, but they also have paternity registries that you could do in the States that can help you in the process of finding a child. Um, Whether if you believe that you're the biological father, the state will send you a thing and help you out with that. So if you have any questions, definitely use that as an option. And it's been fun. I'll say Luke has been a handful, but he's a good kid, and I've enjoyed it being able to have just sole custody of him. It's been, and you don't hear many dads have sole custody like that. So,
Right.
like y'all said, it's definitely a unique story, and if I would say to any dad out there that doesn't know, try to find out. That's you might have a little bit of searching to do. That paternity registry at least get you in a ballpark of where to look at. And that's, to me, is the best thing to do. I don't regret chasing him and trying to find where he was, and I'm just glad I was smart enough to realize that she was not telling the full truth at that time. And yeah, I mean, it's a long process for a dad to go and get custody after a situation like that, where the mother didn't want him and put him up for adoption. But just know that it will work for you if you just stick with it. Yeah. And don't get frustrated and say this is not going to happen, this, that, and the other. And yeah, its court systems are not quick. Mine wasn't, but that's why I was super happy that my aunt found the paternity registry.
Yeah.
Shortened this up for me tremendously after I wound up getting that in the mail. It would have been sooner, but I think from what I remember from my lawyer telling me, it was that at that time they had some issues with the system, so it didn't get out like as fast as it should have. So, but eventually it still got out. It got out at the perfect time. So,
Right. Yeah. No, I love that. And I just love like your story because I feel like there's not that many dads that, one, maybe know like how you said, and two, they just don't really like advocate for themselves. And you've done that, which is like in turn been like made your story what's made your story, which I think is just so amazing. Like it's so cool.
Well, and they think they can't advocate for themselves. Our society
Yes.
feel like they can't advocate for themselves when biological dads can. And I'm so thankful that you came on and shared your story originally, because that was like I want to say that was the most listened to episode out of all of ours. And now being able just to hear you reiterate again, just keep trying, don't get frustrated, like just keep pushing through, because in the end, I know there are some people out there who will again rip me for this, the whole entire female movement of my body, my choice. I get it, whatever, but the men do have rights as well.
Exactly. Yes.
I agree. 100%.
But yeah, definitely. Don't think you can't advocate for yourself. You can. I mean,
you're proof.
I'm exactly. I'm proof. And like I said, it's a long process. It was good. I had that my lawyer with me the whole time. I still keep in contact with her too. Super amazing lady. Hopefully I won't ever have to use her again. If I do, I know her.
I think your fiance would have a couple of issues with that if you ever had to use her again, because your fiance is wants to have a bigger family with you. So.
Right, exactly. And she treats Luke just like her own, so that's definitely awesome. And he loves her to death. I mean, she's all the time playing with him, doing things with him. She treats him no different than, as her own child. So that I am grateful for, because sometimes it might be hard for somebody to, once you get in a relationship, love another kid. Some people get in that situation.
Yeah.
Same thing with adopted kids. They might not be loved much by one family member, and they are by the other. But with her, she don't see that. Her family doesn't see that. They take him in, love him. He loves his grandma Janet, asking for her all the time.
I love that.
So, and then he's just got family all around. We have godparents, or I have godparents that helped me during the pandemic, and he sees them pretty much at least once or twice a month. He'll go stay with them for the weekend, and they pretty much consider him his own too. So he's got love everywhere. He just wants to go and stay with everybody. So
yeah, I love that. Family can be anything and everything, and all that love. I love it so much.
Exactly. He calls them Sissy and Bubba. So I'm like, yeah, I'm fine with it, because they have some older kids, but yeah, he's like brother and sister to them, basically.
That's awesome. No, I love that.
I love that.
All right, Delancey, anything else that you can think of?
Not anything else that I can think of.
Anything?
I have to run away tangent at least twice.
Yeah.
Love it so much. Okay, do you want me to close it? Why do you always do that to me?
I don't know. It's really strange. I'm really weird about I'll talk to them on the podcast all day long, but then outros, I'm like,
stop it. You're good at it. Stop it. Believe in yourself. You got this. Well,
there you
Donald,
go, yeah.
Thank you for coming on and being here with us. And we appreciate you coming back and answering. And like I said, I'm going to plug it in again. You guys need to go listen to his episode if you haven't listened to his episode, because it is just amazing, everything that he went through and everything that is now in his life. And you'll get that once you go and listen to that episode. And it's honestly a damn cool episode, and it shows the type of human that he is. He's an amazing
not to mention
human.
You have Sarah's episode that is their aspect of how things happen.
So and you'll get that. You got to keep going at Donald and then Sarah, and it's all intertwined, and it's really, really cool. So you have to go listen to it. It's just amazing. But we would ask for any advice, but Delancey already asked you that, and you already answered that for us, which we so appreciate. But that's it. And we missed you on the panel, but thank you so much for coming and taking some time out of your night to do this with us. We really appreciate it. Taking some time out of your night.
No problem. It's not a problem. I enjoy it.
We do too, obviously, because we just go off tangent with you. So anyway,
I have that effect on people, apparently.
It's awesome. I love it so much. So anyway, okay, thanks guys so much for listening. Go check out Donald's episode, and that is it.